Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Emerald Hill and this is where I normally review what I eat in a day as a fat girl. As a former fat girl, I've lost over 100 pounds. But today is kind of my intro video to let's start on January 2nd or let's start on day 2. So this is a 30-day challenge that I decided to do and include you on YouTube with, if that makes sense. So we're gonna do January 2nd to the 31st and we're going to look at food, mood, and move. I printed out my own little PDF file that you can actually find on my website called Buy Me a Coffee. You don't have to buy me a coffee, and this is actually free, so if you'd like to download it, just go there. It's in the description box below. It's easy to do, and I know that one person's actually already done it, so thank you. And I know this is coming out on January 3rd, so thank you for bearing with me for that too. In your little booklet, I've never done this before, so this is going to be janky. This is kind of like the cover page. It moves into a little calendar, so you can kind of like put a sticker over each day maybe, or just like cross it out with a red pen or something like that after each day. And then, 31st is the big goal day. Speaking of which, by the by, this is a page where you get to put your goals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of goals to have for 1 month, so I would recommend just having 3. I haven't written mine down yet, but my 3 goals are to do with food, mood, and move. So I'm going to think about what I want to move and do in that way, probably spin cycling and also strength training. And then food, I'd really like to focus on axing as much processed stuff as possible. I'm kind of weaning myself off of the Christmas binge area. Not that I actually did binge, but chocolates and pastries and all kinds of rich foods galore. So I'm weaning myself away from that. Going pretty well so far. I have officially decided that I am craving food and not craving chocolate, so that's really good. Just to break it down and make it really short, the first goal is to have the least processed food amount possible. The second goal is to do cardio and also strength training at least 5 times a week. And then the third thing to do with mood is actually to look at my fantasizing about food. Yeah, it's like a mental part. That's why I put a little brain on the front cover, because it's gonna be kind of like a brain challenge too. Every time I start to fantasize about food, like eating a whole ton of pasta or something like that, when I start to get hungry, I'm gonna try my best to keep little snacks with me, little pieces of fruit or something like that, anything. When that starts to happen, I can immediately say, oh, I must be hungry, have something to eat, and then redirect my focus for at least 2 minutes and try to dissuade myself from not constantly, but defaulting to fantasizing about eating food. I know that sounds crazy, but I really do. And that's something that people who struggle with binge eating do a lot. They fantasize about food. And actually other people as well, like people who suffer with other different kinds of eating issues, but they just kind of like deal with it in a different way. The way that I deal with it is that I act on it. And I like to go to the store and I like to get those things. And I like to indulge in those things. And that's something that I'm trying to avoid. Boom. And so then I decided to include a weekly planner, and I think that this is really good because even though there's only one of these, you can like photocopy or print it off again as many times as you want to, but this is really helpful for staying organized and putting in when you are actually going to act on those goals that you've set out for yourself. So when you go to the gym, what you're eating through the week, what your different coping skills are for when you start to fantasize about food. And I am looking at myself in my camera as I say that, when me starts to fantasize about food. I find that breaking things down to the little bite-sized chunks is really helpful for getting things done. So I kind of have the big month planner, the weekly planner, and then I have the day-to-day planner. And so this comes with like the 6 o'clock in the morning full day to be able to plan out each hour what's going to happen. And then you get to remind yourself of the goal that you're really trying to strive for, your to-do list and your notes and the date and things like that in case you want to keep track of that as well. I just find that this is really helpful for breaking down exactly when things are going to occur. Because if you just say like, oh, I'm going to drink like a gallon of water today, but you don't actually put in when you're going to do it, you're probably not going to do it. This is kind of like my favorite thing. The goal tracker. This is where I personally am going to put in my weight because I would really like to kind of start to lower my weight a little bit, especially after like getting super bloated off of like the holiday binge, as I said that it was. It's not like something, even though, now that's a really good thing that I just caught myself on. I was about to say it's not going to be specific. I think that that contradicts exactly everything that I said before. I think I need to get specific, but I also need to recognize my limits, right? So I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to just track my weight and lose as much as possible. I feel like that'll help me go off track really quickly. So maybe instead I'll focus on losing 1 pound a week. So there's 4 weeks in January. I'll try to focus on losing like 4 to 5 pounds for January. And then I'll be able to put in my weight, boop, 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 and track it and see what happens. So yeah, there you go. I'll also be doing weekly updates. That'll be good. Let's get started.